And welcome everyone. My name is Surtur from Slytherin, and we're streaming Starhammer: The Vanguard Prophecy. With me is Matthew Davis, also known as Hybrid Spider on the forum, so you may have seen him. And we're going to play a bit of Starhammer, a turn-based tactical game which has been released today. So Matthew is going to play for us tonight.
I am.
So well, let's jump in. If you guys have any questions, just type them in here in the Twitch chat. You need a Twitch account for that. If you don't have it, feel free to sign up. It's free anyway, and will be able to subscribe to our channel, which means you will get a notification whenever we go live in the future. So yeah, there we go. If there are any issues with sound whatsoever, please let us know as well, and we'll try to fix it on the spot. So we're gonna jump in and we're gonna resume the campaign we've been playing a bit. Just resume is fine.
Load.
No, just resume it.
Oh, just resume.
Yeah.
Sorry, my bad.
Should be set up correctly. And so like I said, it is a tactical game, turn-based, we go system, and if you don't know exactly what that means, you'll find out soon enough. It's a simultaneous turn-based system. And it actually makes use of 3D space, so you can go up and down as well as you please. So this is a typical mission selection screen you'll find in the campaign. We got some of the squares or diamonds rotating over there. These are missions you can select. There's often a choice in the type of mission you want. And above we got some circles twinkling, and these provide some extra background information, if you will. So if you click on one of those, you get like an extra text information, immersing you a bit more into the story. So we're going to play at least one mission tonight and give you a general overview of what the game's about. And hello, Chaos Ruler. Welcome to the forum or to the chat. And let's jump into a mission here. So we're going to play this one over here.
This one over here.
Yeah, we're going to play Beyond the Bowsprit. And so you got your mission description over here and your objectives at the bottom. So if you cannot be bothered to read all the text, feel free to just read the objective only and go with that.
That's what I generally do.
The story is quite deep and immersive though, so if you're playing it through, especially for the first time, we advise you to read everything. Also because sometimes there are hints or tips like hidden within the text. So go ahead and proceed, please.
There we go.
Right, so here you're free to set up your ship as you like at the start of the mission. So it's basically a deployment phase. These are the ships you have available in this campaign. The list will grow throughout the campaign as you advance. And, well, you can just drag and drop wherever you want them, really. So we got a number of different ship classes. We got the light one, the small ones you're moving now are the swordfishes, basically some sort of fighter, if you will. They're very nimble. And you can move them up and down as well with those buttons. So if you press those, you will see on screen that the planes are going up and down, and you'll see that the height of the ships actually has an impact gameplay-wise and dictate your tactics and strategies. So to the left, you can see the ships available to you in this list. The golden ones are activated at the moment. The grey ones are not. You cannot activate this one at the moment since you're out of command points, as shown at the bottom of the screen. So it's a core force, and you take this force with you throughout the campaign. So every time you do a new scenario, you're going to take your force with you, and your ships level up as well. If you check on the right side, you'll see the selected ship panel. You see the level of the ship. Kills in battle, which is a nice addition, and the stats and upgrades.
Killed quite a few.
Exactly.
Okay.
So once you're happy with your selection, you can hit proceed, and we're going to see in a second exactly how all these ships work and function in game. How big are the largest capital ships? Right, we hope we will be able to show you later in game, but they are huge, really, especially compared to the small ones. We got only some small and mid-sized ships here, but yeah, they're gonna get huge. The same goes for the aliens, by the way.
Ooh.
Right, so go ahead and mess around a bit. We got the objective to the left. We got some dialogue on the top left. You can click on it, go through it, Again, if you're just interested in the fighting, you can just go through it. Question here from the Sestrat, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. The ships have permadeath. If you lose a ship, yes, you will. It will drop from your core force, especially if, or well, there's one exception though. That is the capital ship, because you fail the mission. If you lose that one, you have to retry it, since the main character in the story cannot die in order for the story to progress. Okay. So feel free to give your initial orders. So you got your ships listed here, and the circle or the semicircle shows basically the deployment or the movement range of your ship within a turn. Okay. So you can drag and drop the ghost of the ship to dictate where it should go in the turn.
So I'm just going to move them forward to try and engage the... So how do I move around the map?
Right, moving around the map, WASD keys can be used for that easily, or the directional keys, I think they're called. Yeah.
Arrow keys, directional keys.
Right.
Okay, and then right click.
And right click to pan the camera, look around, and the mouse wheel to zoom in and out.
Okay. These. Am I limited by how far I can move?
Exactly, yes.
So just within this range?
Yeah, you have to keep within that range in order to move. You can influence how far you can move by power distribution. Mm-hmm. So if you click on the energy triangle over there, and for example put your power fully to engines, you will see that the ability to increases significantly.
And these are so these automatically switch between full engines, full shields, full weapons, and in the middle again. Okay.
Yeah. Yes, this is a fairly slow ship we got here selected. It's one of the slowest in game, really. You can easily compare it to the others. That random gamer, if you want to make YouTube videos on our game, we would just be honored. So feel free to make any material you'd like and share it. You're more than welcome to do that. Right, so right now just order your ships forward.
Okay.
Into the alien enemy. So let me walk you quickly through the background story here. We are fighting in the Second Nautilite War. Basically, humankind has moved to a different planet and encountered a race of hostile aliens near the space of the planet. And the first war is over. Everyone thought all the aliens were destroyed, but of course some stragglers have survived and repopulated, and they're on the attack again. So it's up to you to defend your planet. And I think if you look behind you, yeah, you should be able to get a glimpse of the planet you're fighting for. So you're always within this space of the planet, so you always have some landmarks, space stations, satellites, etc.
Over there, yep. Okay, so I'm just going to...
Yeah, so once you're done, you're going to hit go, and you're going to see that the turn is being processed in real time. So you see your ships move forward. Once they get close enough to the enemy, they'll start engaging. And
okay.
There we go. So you got some first enemies over there. If you double click on one of the enemies, you get an information panel coming up. Yeah, there we go. So we see it's a krill. It's the smallest alien you will encounter. And you can see the different armored values. So basically this one has a lot of weaknesses.
So he's weak on the bottom, the sides as well. By 50%, okay.
Exactly.
So approach from underneath.
Ideally, yes, or from the sides, of course.
Sides.
But to be fair, these are not the strongest enemies you'll face, so you'll probably have superior firepower at the moment to take them out head on.
Okay.
Can you rename ships? No, it's not possible at the moment to rename ships. They all have a generated name based on, well, they got a number based on the, what do you call it? How do you say that? The number of ships in that class you already have. Plus the commanders are named as well. So if they die, the commanders die as well. But if there is enough people screaming for the feature of having the option to rename ships, we might be able to look into it actually. Right, that's the weapon arc button, and as you can see, it toggles like the range and the arc of the weapon on the selected ship. So you can see like at what point you will be able to actually hit the enemy and from which weapons. You can see at the ship info panel and at the bottom the different weapons the ship has, and clicking on those will give you extra information per weapon as well as extra options to target specific enemies.
Yeah. So if I wanted to designate all of my heavy lasers to shoot, say, the strongest one.
Exactly, this would be the way to do it.
Should do the front ones.
Right, and again, once you're happy, hit the end turn or the go button.
Have I set everything up? Is everything moving forward?
I think it is.
Okay, let's go.
And there we go. And we got the follow cam activated at the moment, so you automatically follow the closest ship or the ship selected. And we got some first combat going, and we can see some enemies are getting injured. But
what?
Some enemy reinforcements have appeared, so we got some disruptor units over there. And if you let's investigate one of these units over here. So bring up the info panel. So we can see they're armored on several on the front and top. They're weak on the sides, and we also see an ability of the disruptors. Some aliens have abilities they can use. In this case, they will disrupt your energy distribution, hence the name disruptors.
Right, okay.
So beware and keep your distance.
So this will affect my speed, shields, and
exactly.
weapons.
The energy distribution will affect the overall energy of the ship. So in all parts, in shields, movement, weapons, you will lose efficiency.
So don't get too close.
Exactly.
Okay.
Especially if there are multiple of them, because it stacks.
Duly noted. So don't go over there.
Right. Luckily, you got some ships with abilities as well. If you select your Corvette, for example.
Hold on.
The Nemo.
The Nemo.
Exactly. One. There it is. This Corvette has some missiles to fire. So if you head to the right, you can hit the fire missile ability, and you can select an enemy on which you wish to fire.
Let's select.
And you can fire up to 2 each round.
Just do both of those on that one.
What do the numbers in the weapon boxes represent? So the number in the weapon boxes represent the damage of the weapon. So that can be altered. Well, there's a default value for each weapon type, so the light laser, medium laser, etc. And this is then changed by the power distribution of the specific ship. So if you put all your power into your weapons, let's try that for a second here. So if you take the currently selected ship, and you change the power and you set it all the way to weapons, and you can see as soon as you hit OK that the number switches immediately. So you get immediate feedback on how this multiplier works.
So we're currently in
Yes,
range of this.
We are playing in actual 3D space, and that means sometimes aliens will fly just over you, just underneath you. And it might be a bit tricky to actually hit them, and that's what the game is all about, getting into the best possible position where you have them in your firing arc, but you stay clear of theirs.
So by activating the weapons, you slow down, obviously.
Also, if you want to have an accuracy boost, you can turn on the targeted fire mode. You're currently by default in automatic fire mode.
Right, okay.
And at the bottom right, you have the...
okay, right.
Exactly. Clicking there, you got 3 options. You got hold fire, auto fire, or targeted fire. And targeted fire gives you an accuracy boost on the selected enemy.
So I'll fire on that one. And if that then gets destroyed, does...
It will default back to automatic fire.
Okay.
Yeah.
So...
You should also note that destroyed ships and aliens actually remain on the field and are objects on the field, so you can still ram into them and cause problems or use them as cover, depending on the situation.
So if there's like a large disruptor in my way, it dies. I can then use it to not get hit by any enemy fire.
For example, yes.
Got you.
What kind of armaments will we see? Well, the main armaments in these for these ships are lasers. So there are 3 classes of lasers. Well, 4 actually, if you take up the laser beam of the destroyer. But you got the medium, light, and heavy lasers, and then the very powerful laser beam. There's a stun beam as well on the frigate class ship, which temporarily disables enemies. And there are torpedoes, missiles. There are mines in game as well, and countermeasures as well against these missiles. So there's quite a diverse type group of weapons, and each of course have their own proper role within the battle. For example, the fighters that Matthew has currently selected have a bonus against smaller targets, so they're very good at chasing these pesky krill wherever they might go.
We wanted to get underneath it.
Right, to hit it in the belly and get the... So again, you can see here that the battle is taking place in actual 3D space, with Matt moving up and down the field in order to make use of the weak points of the enemy, and at the same time make use of the strong points of his own units, for the fighters have the stronger top shields than bottom shields.
Try and go into the side of those disruptors, although there's going to be missiles firing at them. So
these are the missile countermeasures. So these, you deploy these, and they act actually more like proximity mines for enemy missiles. So you put them somewhere in space, they are deployed, and whenever an enemy missile gets close, they will try and intercept it. They work very well, but they're single use only. So you have to continuously deploy them, and you only have a finite number of them available.
Right, okay.
So that's the maximum range you can see there. When they're blue, you can deploy. When they turn red, you cannot.
Does it matter if I put it into the path of...
No, it does not. Unless they actually directly ram it, which is very unlikely because the things themselves are very small.
Okay.
There is no issue with that.
So let's deploy.
Of course, when they explode a missile, that does area of effect damage.
Right.
And you're close to it.
If you're caught in the blast, then
exactly, you might get damage.
Let's place one more. Okay. Which one are we going to follow then? We follow that one?
Yeah, we might as well. Is it possible to be immune against weak attacks? Well, yes. If you put a lot of energy in your shields, you will still take damage, but your shield recharge rate might actually be higher than the damage you're taking of the very weak ships. So that way, you won't get any damage to your shields.
Right, okay.
Right, you got a lot of enemies. What's your plan here?
I don't know. I don't know. Well, there's a missile on its way to that one still.
Right.
I'm pretty much at full health for most of my ships, other than...
Right, so what we got here is the shield distribution.
Move sliders to change shield segment strength.
Exactly, so each ship has 6 different shield sides. So you got front, back, left, right, up, top and bottom shields. And you can redistribute power between them if one of the side is running low. And of course, as soon as one side has gone to 0, ships will start taking hull damage instead of shield damage. So you typically want to keep your shields up on every side.
Okay, so this button just locks that one in place.
Exactly, yeah.
Being drained from the other ones. Okay.
Is there a way to show all enemies on the screen and their stats? Not all the enemies and their stats at the same time, for that would really clutter the field, but there is the strategic map mode. If you can click on the top right, So there are multiple map modes you can look at. And there we go. Here you see an overview of the strategic map. So you got a lot of enemies coming in, some guardians, disruptors, and some krill, which you encountered initially. Can you lock those sliders? Yes, you can lock the sliders. So you can tweak it exactly like you would want. So here Matt is experiencing with the different camera modes. The fixed one you're at now is typically used for more traditional like RTS players or something like that, who are used to have a fixed view of the map, whereas
this one's 3D.
Exactly, I really prefer this one to be able to move around and see everything from every side.
Yep. I think we're just going to fire more missiles. Well, I'm only down to 4.
Yes, the Corvette only holds a finite number of missiles, typically 12 at the start of a mission.
Okay.
But you cannot resupply between every mission, only between every chapter, meaning that you're gonna run out at some point.
Yep. Is there anything in my range I can use the overhead camera?
The overhead camera is great for judging firing arcs properly. So you can see the missiles shooting there from the white smoke. Disruptors are quite large indeed, although they come a lot bigger actually than some of the aliens. We got the Leviathans, the Monarchs, and the water carriers that really scare you. Especially when they try and ram you, it causes major issues. Any type of enemy you want to target first or focus fire on, or?
I don't know. There seems to be a lot to handle right now. So,
the enemy guardians, for example, that have just appeared, they will fire missiles at you, and they will do significant amount of damage if left.
So I should target them.
Might be an option, yes.
Okay.
Otherwise, it takes up a lot of countermeasures to keep safe from them.
Well, I think it's safe to say that we need a couple of missiles on that then.
Is it possible to ram? Yes, it is definitely possible to start ramming. We can see the disruptors doing their work. So if you click on the destroyer now for a second, we can see that the output efficiency is lowered by almost 25% already.
So I can just back up shields and ram the enemy.
You can definitely try that, yes.
Let's try that.
You will take significant damage though, but the enemy hopefully will take more and is caught off guard and might actually be stunned for 1 turn.
Got missiles on the way. Did those missiles hit the other one? I didn't actually see it.
Me neither, but there is of course the replay feature where you can watch again your previous turn from any side, any angle, and even at a slower speed, if you would like to do that. So you can get so if you miss stuff, because a lot of stuff can be happening at the same time on different height levels and different parts of the map, so having the replay feature really helps to really keep actually aware of what's happening.
Okay.
Also, if you want a more cinematic gameplay experience, you can turn off the damage indicators, the numbers in red we see popping up every time. I kind of like having them because it shows what's happening, but for screenshots, videos and such, you might want to turn it off.
Okay, let's speed up again and proceed. So he's ramming into there.
Right.
We have this one. This one had the countermeasures, so
it has the countermeasure. It also has the stun beam on its front, so it's the blue firing arc you see there.
Right. Okay. Yep.
So anything gets stunned for at least 1 turn, possibly more, when it's in range. So it's a very good support ship. It's just extremely slow.
Okay, so we'll turn around. Target. Can I target this one over here?
Mm-hmm. So targeted fire doesn't mean your ship will completely ignore every other enemy out there, because that would be a bit stupid, to be honest. But
Yeah.
it will just focus that one. So whenever it has the possibility of picking the priority target above the others, it will do so, and with increased accuracy.
So if I'm that one. So as I'm out of range with this blue arc, it will decide to fire on other things.
Exactly. If something else comes into range, at the moment it's a bit difficult because you got your fighter out there as well, potentially blocking.
Right. Okay.
Because there definitely is friendly fire in this game. If you don't pay attention, your missiles might hit your own ships. Your ships can crash into each other, and well, that's obviously
that's
an
not
issue.
Good. Yes.
Your ships can run into asteroids as well. Actually, set asteroids adrift and change the battlefield a bit.
Right. Okay.
Some maps there are space stations or broken moon there as well.
Shooting them into.
Exactly. And we got a green missile. The green smoke trail we see there is an asset missile from the enemy Guardian. And let's hope it gets intercepted by one of your countermeasures if they are in place. But I'm not sure they're positioned correctly. Yes, you got one over here. Just behind that. Yeah, there it is.
Okay.
But it depends if it tries to hit your fighter. If it tries to go for your swordfish, you might want to try some evasive maneuvers for it.
Full shields or full engines?
I think swordfishes are pretty fast units, so if you do full engines and get a nice turn going.
Oh wow.
Yes. These guys are extremely nimble, especially because they're level 3 ships by now, so the crew is highly skilled, has a lot of experience. And you will see this directly in game. Now you probably want to get a bit more of a turn going.
A bit more turn?
Yeah, to really evade the missile, or at least hope.
Okay. So I could just zoom over here. Or zoom over and kill that one.
You might be able to, yes. Okay. Regarding the replayability, well, at the moment it's only possible to replay the previous turn. We are looking into getting more turns to be replayed, but there were some issues with that initially. So it's just one turn at the moment. We are looking into it though, because yeah, we think it would be very cool to be able to rewatch an entire battle in real time after it's over. But at the moment, for now at least, so we cannot make any promises on that. But already the one turn replay is extremely useful.
Yeah, because there was a lot going on and I did see most of it.
It was actually the first thing our beta testers requested when they got their hands on it.
So let's actually see what actually happened.
So your destroyer crashed into the ship it was ramming and actually destroyed it.
Oh, okay, right.
We can see it dying.
Yep.
So that's good. We got the missiles hitting the Guardian.
They're quite clustered up here, so maybe a missile. Oh, that was the blue.
Yeah, that's the stun at the priority target.
Yep.
So that's excellent, and it seems your ship has evaded the homing missile.
It did shoot off somewhere.
Could you replay one more time and focus on the
on that one?
On that one. Ah, it got countered just in time, as you can see from the blue line. So it was very close to actually hitting, but...
So there, yeah.
Excellent. So that's how the countermeasures work. You can see a lot of damage in the surrounding area by different ships. Again, because of the area of effect damage of an explosive.
Yeah.
For the campaign, like we're doing now, you can actually save in mission. So you can save half mission and come back at a later time and jump right into the fight again.
Okay.
So yeah, they're really piled up there. So some of Corvette missiles will do great damage because they've got a nice area of effect going on.
You just target that one right in the center. Hope that it misses a couple of them to get in the middle.
Exactly, yeah, it might very well explode beforehand if it comes into contact with an enemy.
Yeah.
Because the missiles are actual, like, physical entities on the map, so they can get intercepted by anything.
If this one is stunned, does he?
He won't move. He won't shoot.
Does he take increased damage at all?
No.
No.
It will just drift there on its own.
Right. So it can't move. Can it still shoot?
No.
Can't shoot.
It is completely immobilized and yeah, stunned.
Everyone fire on him then.
It's a very easy target.
It is a very. Oh, his shields are down.
Yeah, because of the ramming impact probably.
It's on the left side.
So you want to exactly distribute them.
So where is the enemy at the moment around this ship? Mostly on that. So the right side and the front. Exactly.
You want to change your shields depending on where the enemy is and where you expect taking fire. Is there a skirmish mode? Is asked by Nisa123. Yes, there is. You can set your own skirmish up, choose your own ships, choose your enemy if you want, or let the AI choose that for you. You can choose the map you want to play and the size of the battle. So yes, there is some replay value there to be found, definitely. Also, as you go through the campaign, you will actually unlock the missions to play in skirmish mode as well. So you can replay any mission you've played before, but with a custom ship loadout if you want to.
So I can literally go back to previous ones I've done.
Exactly. Yes.
Okay.
You don't have to replay the campaign to find that specific mission you liked or enjoyed or found extremely challenging. And there is the randomly generated scenario as well. So literally with 2 clicks, if you launch the game, in 2 clicks you can get into a battle. You hit skirmish, you hit surprise me, and the battle is automatically generated for you. So that's extremely convenient if you have like short time available. Just get into battle, kill some Nautilid, and destroy those.
Full weapons and just. So that blue one's just the stun one, so I need to turn on my side.
Exactly, yeah. So it's with the countermeasures and the stun, it's a very nice support ship, but it's not very convenient for actually killing because it's often too slow to catch up with the enemy with its
just in case
when set of guns. Comes. One thing to note about this game is also the campaign is a branching one, so the story and the missions you'll play actually vary depending on your playstyle.
Right, okay.
There is a thing in game called aggressive or defensive war skill, and this war skill meter checks how you play the game. Are you playing defensively or offensively?
Okay.
And the missions you will be able to choose actually differ depending on the way you play. So in total there are about 60 missions in this game, which is, well, quite a decent amount of content here.
Yep.
And in a typical playthrough, you'll probably play about half of them, so about 30.
Yeah.
So when you replay and you try and use different tactics, different ships, you'll actually encounter different missions as well. So that adds a nice bit of replay value.
So people might not even see this.
People might not even see this mission. There's a very good chance if you grab the game now and you go in your playthrough, you might never see this mission because you got one of the 59 other ones. Oh yeah, the war skill is very nice feature. We were actually discussing within the office here, the guys were playing it, and one was saying every time I get the aggressive war skill, and the other was saying every time I get the defensive war skill. So it really depends on the way you play. In this campaign, I was playing through these missions. I mostly get the aggressive war skills, so that means that, again, different missions open up, but also different bonuses you'll get for your fleet. If you play more defensively, for example, launch more missiles from far away,
right? Okay, yeah.
Your missile respawn rate or regeneration rate or resupply rate is actually increased a bit, so you get to fire more over time. Also, a defensive player often has the ability to deploy a bigger fleet or to
Yeah.
call in more reinforcements,
Mhm.
whereas for the offensive player, the capital ship is more important. That one get bonuses.
So at the moment, this ship
Mm-hmm.
has navigation offline.
Right. So it
So-
probably crashed into it
So
crashed
I
into an
got hit
alien
by
there.
this krill. Okay.
Yeah.
That krill is dead. That's handy.
So you're temporarily
Disabled.
exactly.
That is a big cluster, and those missiles are still traveling, so that's fine.
They're probably going to hit the one in the centers, or at least the Guardian, which is very nice. What would you say is the average amount of time to complete a mission? Zeppelin's answering 20 to 30 minutes. I think that's a fair assessment. You can definitely do it faster if you're a bit more reckless. I usually am, to be honest. If you really want to go into tactical part, like you're doing now, very much.
Yeah.
It takes a bit longer. You feel like you're more in control of what's happening. And missions can take up a lot longer as well, which is why we have this in battle save.
This one's kind of damaged quite a bit. Is there a way to repair it or
for the swordfishes, no. Only the bigger class ships have repair bots. So you won't be able to repair that one actually.
Okay,
It
so
will just have to survive until the end of the battle, or get destroyed, in which case you might get some reinforcements coming up if you have it waiting.
Okay.
Right, so a lot of red numbers there from your missile impact, so
we
did a
just
good
killed
job.
that.
More disruptors going down. I say going down, but they're not literally going down because they're in space where there's no gravity.
So no up or down.
Exactly.
Yeah.
What we can see is a lot of corpses actually are on the field now as well, and they're just obstructing
They're just
the
floating
battle.
there, yeah. Okay. So I'll need to. That Guardian is healthy. Did we even?
Yeah, you got about half.
Yeah.
So it's injured. So you can see on the labels of the enemy, like what the type of unit, and a brief indication of how healthy they are. So they are either healthy, slightly injured, severely injured, or near death.
Yeah.
And if you, of course, hover over them, you get more details and the exact amount of hit points left.
Okay.
And the amount of hit points actually differ a lot per ship, or per ship and per enemy as well, per alien. Usually the human ships have less hit points or hull strength because they have the shields to compensate for that.
Yeah. Whereas the aliens don't.
And just to give you a brief indication, the smallest alien the krill have 20 hit points, whereas the biggest alien you will encounter, it's the monarch. It will have 2,000, if I recall correctly. So there's a huge difference there. And again, just like your ships, the aliens also have, each type has their own abilities.
Yeah. I feel like I should do more stunning with this.
If you could, yes, that would be very nice.
There's a slightly injured.
If you position it well, it can actually stun multiple enemies during one turn.
Oh, really?
Yeah, if you click on the stun beam on the interface, you will see that the fire interval is between 2 and 2.5 seconds.
Okay.
And one turn takes about 20 seconds, I think.
Okay.
So if it's properly positioned and like a lot of enemies in the firing arc not covering each other too much,
Yeah.
then you might stun
quite a few.
Usually, on a good turn, I get to stun like 3-4 in one go.
Now, would your fire need to be on auto fire for that, or would it take into account if an enemy is already stunned?
It's better to keep it on auto fire. Targeted fire is good for accuracy, but the beams, like the laser beam and the stun beam, have very high accuracy by themselves already.
Okay.
So that's usually not an issue.
Yeah. I see that Guardian. Bottom. So I'll get lower beneath it, hopefully, to do a bit more damage and target it.
Do you start the campaign off with specific ships? Yes, you start off with 3 ships, 1 corvette, and 2 fighters. But from that point on, it's a bit up to you how you want to change your ship. If you want to like dismiss some of your older ships to make space for some bigger ones, in which case, of course, your experience gets lost that you have on those ships. So there's still the motivation to keep some of your older ships alive. Also, I just really like the fighters. I like how nimble they are, take out specific enemies. So I usually choose and keep them, but you don't have to. You can dismiss them immediately after the first mission, I think, even. Can this game be modded with other ships or modules? At the moment, modding support is a bit tricky. It is a game within the Unity engine, which isn't the most mod-friendly engine, to be honest. But yeah, if there is a lot of demand for this kind of stuff, then definitely the devs would be happy to look into it. It's just probably not easy. At the moment, though, there is enough content, I think, to keep you occupied for quite a good number of hours.
I want to kill that one. Oh, wait, hold on. That one's severely injured, but he's getting shot by another one. Over here, I believe. The corvette. So hopefully he'll do enough damage. Oh, sorry.
Regarding the different difficulty levels, yes, there are 3 difficulty levels, and it changes a bit the amount of enemies you will face during the campaign, and also I think on easy you get a bonus to accuracy as well, so it's a bit easier to take out the enemies. We advise people who are already familiar with strategy games but new to this game specifically to just launch the game on normal, which is always a good bet. Again, because of the amount of replay value this game had with the whole war skill system, there's no reason not to replay the campaign after you finish it in a different way, and then you might scale up the difficulty if the first time you found it a bit too easy. But yeah, the hard difficulty mode will definitely give you a challenge, especially in later stages. And there you go. Really love the follow cam.
But it does limit your field of view.
It does, yes. And you managed to take out the Guardian.
I did take out the Guardian.
So that's nice. Only one left there.
Take out that Guardian, and
the good thing is, because you're focusing on the Guardians, which is really the way to go here. You take out. I mean, the disruptors are annoying support units, but they don't deal a lot of damage. They got the basic acid spitters.
Yeah.
So it's the Guardians that really do the damage for the enemy. So if you can take them down, you can just slowly turtle them into destruction.
I haven't really noticed any of the little krill flying around. They just seem to be dying on themselves.
Against your stronger ships you got going now, they're mostly cannon fodder. Have fun with the game then, Satrat. And let us know if you have any more questions for us.
Okay, so targeting that one. Because that icon, I'm guessing?
Yep, exactly. So that's the targeted ship currently.
What can this one do? Most effective.
You probably want to have a bit more engine power on this one to make it more flexible. It's quite a sturdy ship. It's got very good shields, so it's acceptable to take more power right from that one.
Well, I'll just go balanced then.
This is more of a turtling ship than the destroyer is.
I'm just gonna rock forward and get these firing arcs, although there's not much in that side, so maybe go behind it.
Yes, comment here in the chat. It seems you got yourself a bit surrounded. That's true to some degree, and you do have lowered efficiency output because of the enemy disruptors.
Yeah.
But overall, I think you're in a fairly good position because you're basically breaking through their lines rather than get enveloped.
Mm-hmm. Also, that one's take out the straggler on the left-hand side.
Yeah. So yeah, do you plan on chat multiplayer in game? It's true. At the moment there's no multiplayer in game. This is really focused on single player only. The devs, as he also explained on the forums, they wanted to focus on giving you a proper single player experience with a lot of single player content and well balanced missions first. But yeah, everyone who sees this game thinks I want to play this in multiplayer, and they're definitely willing and looking into it. But it all depends, of course, on how much demand there is for it. It would be really cool to see, but it's not planned at the moment, and it's not something that is easily done actually for this game.
So I saw that this disruptor was weak on the sides, so
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to try
and hit it from the side.
Hit it from the sides, yeah.
That's a great strategy.
Okay. So I'm quite worried about this little guy's health at the moment.
Yes, you should definitely watch out a bit with it. Again, usually in a skirmish, you might not care so much about one ship.
Yeah.
But here in a campaign, this is a level 3 ship already, or the crew is level 3 already, so it is much stronger than a replacement ship.
Yeah.
That would be brought up. So you probably want to keep it alive for the next mission as well when it's fully repaired again.
So let's target that one. I believe that's set everything.
I think so, yeah.
Let's see what happens.
Right, and the Guardian fired a missile again at you. It's going... Just missed your destroyer. Although it might still chase you. They are homing missiles, so they will try and chase you for a bit. But you might be able to intercept it now that you caught it.
Actually go down as well. Hopefully I won't get caught in the blast.
Can you upgrade your ships in between missions? There's no really, well, other than your ships gaining experience, that will upgrade specific things like increased power output, increased mobility, increased shields, etc. And of course you can change your ships, so it's more like customizing your fleet rather than customizing the individual ships you bring.
Let's go full weapon.
We wanted with this game very much to make each ship feel different from the other, whereas if you can customize everything just as you would want, you could get like every ship could potentially be the same ship. So we want to have enough diversity to force the player to make choices there.
Try and go full engines and catch that Guardian.
Right.
And stun it. Hopefully. Because then giving my destroyer time to destroy it.
That's what they typically do.
I might actually just leave him on that one. His shield is down on the right side.
Ooh. And look at your output efficiency there.
59.
So yeah, that one is...
And my navigation's offline, so yeah, full shields. And where am I being attacked from? Not...
At the moment, it seems to be relatively safe, really.
Okay, yeah.
Just get some damage from the disrupt... Well, not damage, but get disrupted by the disruptor's ability there.
Okay. I might actually target this closer one. Because that's the back.
Right.
This is the side.
Yeah. So yeah, both your swordfishes are getting low on hull integrity as well.
Try and just chase this one. Or I could rise up and shoot that one, maybe? No. Okay.
I typically I like to keep my ships at different heights or height planes.
Yeah.
So to minimize friendly fire chances, of course, but also to make them as mobile as possible, so they can cross each other's path without hitting each other.
I think this one's going to be the best one to
Also,
look at.
61% output efficiency. So yeah, you won't do as much damage as you would typically do.
Ooh.
And there you managed to intercept the enemy missile.
Did a little bit of damage, I think, but
I think it did, yeah. Oh my gosh, look at your output efficiency for your destroyer now. It's practically useless.
okay. Let's just go full shields then. At least we'll be a little protected. So as he's pretty useless, would now be a good time to do some repairs on him.
That might be a good time to do it, but with 91% hull, it's not really extremely necessary. But yeah, when you can repair these bigger ships, and when you do so, you will get repair bots like flying around the ship. You can actually see that when you zoom in. That does mean that their line of fire is basically blocked, so you won't be able to fire anything.
Right.
So.
Can we ram? Oh, no targets in range.
No, it's just outside of movement range there.
Oh, right, yeah.
For proper ram.
So if I just extend it? No.
Also, the special abilities for the ships are linked to subsystems. For example, you got like a missile bay for the corvettes. The Kraken Dreadnought, which is not a ship we have here, carries smaller ships in it, carries like drones.
Right, okay.
But if their drone bay gets destroyed, you won't be able to launch them anymore. And also, you can see at the bottom here, you see the boosters and the repair bot being separate subsystems that can get destroyed individually.
Yeah. So at the moment, everything is on 100%, so we're all good there. Other than the hull, obviously. I'm actually just going to go with full shields and target. Still targeting that one. Oh, but on the bottom, that one can only lower the once. Let's just try and continue to fire on that one.
Right. It's good to try and focus fire as much as possible.
Yeah.
Yes, that's correct, Fishhawk. Between missions, your ship gets fully repaired. It's a bit of an extraction, really, because it wouldn't be possible probably in real life to instantly repair them. But yeah, for mission balance, it is vital that it is done.
Yeah, I'll just swing around, target that one. And I'll just keep chasing this one down.
Right.
So hopefully
and you guys have probably also seen by now that because of the different firing arcs, some ships are much better like from head on, have proper weapons in the front and the rear even sometimes, like the Corvette has, whereas others are more like for giving you the broadside for their actual damage. The destroyer is pretty good at both, which is why it's called the destroyer, really. Can destroy stuff. Because it has a nice laser beam at the front, but at the sides it also has two heavy lasers, so they stack up together quite well. But the frigate, for example, will only do damage with a nice broadside. The Dreadnought class is really for the broadsides, has like a lot of heavy lasers doing major damage. Ah, yes, you see, you spotted it correctly. The Slytherin Humble Weekly Bundle is up now as well. It might be worth checking out. You get a number of great games for a very low price, all for charity, of course, unless you want to tip us, which, well, you're always welcome to do.
We won't say no.
We won't say no, indeed. But yeah, you got a number of great games, even Close Combat is there, Gateway to Khan. So if you've been looking at that one, also on Steam. Try and check out the Humble Bundle. There's great value there. Of course, Starhammer is not there, being a completely new game.
Released today.
But released today, exactly. Click on the banner below the stream to go to the product page at a very nice price of $20, and that is excluding the 10% release discount. So you get that if you buy in the for all the early adopters that buy in the first week of release.
So I don't think I'm doing too badly. That Guardian is slightly injured.
Yes.
But everything else is...
They'll probably start firing more missiles soon. You want to get your destroyer away from those disruptors there because it's not doing the damage it should now.
Yeah. Let's just move away. And...
Also, if you guys have been wondering what's the blue lines you see at the back, like the clouds over there, they're actually clouds created by sprayers. While they're not in the specific battle, they leave some spray, some of their spray every here and there, and going through them actually disables your shields completely.
Oh.
So in battles where there's a lot of sprayers present, they will create these lines for you, and they can be extremely annoying to deal with. So you'll find yourself constantly changing direction, changing heights to avoid being caught into one of these clouds.
And then manipulating your shields to...
Exactly, yes. The worst thing that can happen, and it happens to me way too often, is getting stuck inside one of these clouds with navigation offline, and you're just a sitting duck without your shields.
Yeah.
So that can get really painful. And again, guys, we've been playing here for, well, close to an hour already, and this is just one of the 60 missions you'll find in-game. So there really is a whole bunch of content. Obviously, the earlier missions will take shorter than this one does. But yeah, this is about like somewhere in the middle of the campaign, about the 10th, 11th mission out there. And toward the end of the campaign, you will get the bigger ships. You will get the battlecruiser, the dreadnought. Of course, you will have to, since you will be facing stronger and bigger enemies as well. And your fleet will grow steadily if you manage to keep all your ships alive. Oh, you got that one almost killed now.
Yeah.
Ooh, another disruptor died after impact with your destroyer. And watch out, another missile is coming from the Guardian.
Ah. Okay. Hopefully it'll reach there. Ooh.
Ouch. It completely depleted the shields at the front.
Not recharging.
No, you got all your energy, and so your shields will typically only recharge when you have about 40% of energy into shields. If it gets lower than that, your shields won't recharge, so they will slowly eat away at your shield capacity. So every now and then, you're more or less forced to remove some energy from your engines, from your weapons, in order to recharge your shields.
And where did that Guardian get to? There it is.
I see the Corvette has used up all its missiles now.
I hope this is the last mission for you. So you get another one. Okay. Target that one. What the little guy's doing. I want that Guardian destroyed.
Right.
He's got so much health. It's 200. He has 150.
Yeah, the Guardians are pretty tough in the earlier missions.
Mm.
It's only when you face the Leviathans that you think that the Guardians are easy to deal with.
Right. Let's go for weapons. Destroy that disruptor.
And you managed to intercept it.
Intercepted it. Oh.
Just managed to avoid collision there.
That one's near death. It's always a good thing to see.
It is,
Near
yes,
death.
Definitely. And the funny thing is, if you pan the camera slightly to the station in the background, actually one of the previous missions, or the previous mission took place just there, so you actually see the progress in space
right,
as well.
Okay. So he's actually firing behind him.
Exactly. This is one of the
Although
few ships that has rear-mounted guns.
It's weaker power.
It is, yeah. It's definitely not a priority, but it's a nice addition to the ship.
Yeah.
And it makes the Corvette great for engaging, especially like hordes of krill, like the very tiny ones, just moving around everywhere.
I'm guessing that's why they've all disappeared, because I don't see any.
That probably is.
Shields of...
Is there any way to display lines or trails where the ships have been in previous turns? There is not at the moment, really, though I suppose you can follow them as much as you like with the replay feature in there, so should you miss something. It might be worth considering to think about, though.
Try and loop behind him.
Right.
Stun that guy. That's fine. Was he strong on the side? He was.
No,
just the
only his
bottom.
bottom is armored. But he doesn't really have any weak spots, so...
Yeah. So wait, his bottom is armored?
Yeah.
Right.
Just to make sure.
Yep.
Always a good thing.
It can't hack, can it? Oh, I've already targeted
Yep.
it. And we've got one near death, one severely injured. I've got nothing on that one. That is a lot of range.
You probably want to kill that one off.
Although I'm guessing
you're running
I'll
through the
pass through it.
Yeah, so either you have to change your height.
Ah, right, okay.
So you can fly over it.
Yep.
You probably want to try and do it more extremely. No.
Ooh. Oh, okay.
Yeah, you want to tie the turn then. Ah, that's nice.
Yeah, that might be just the...
I think that works. Just focus the other disruptor first.
Yeah. Does it miss that? It does.
You probably want a bit more power in it then, because you're using all your power on engines now, and you don't use the range.
Yeah. So we can adjust this. So we're just missing it.
Should be. If it doesn't
Should be
move,
good. If it doesn't move.
it might move. If someone hits it, for example, it might start drifting, because
Right,
it's still an object in space. Even asteroids, when you hit them, they might actually start drifting off.
Okay. I think that's all.
Let's
see what happens with this.
It
Oh, that was close. Oh, there's a bit of traffic.
It's a very brave, brave swordfish, Chris Javala. He's a very brave pilot.
Okay. That Guardian's running away.
It's severely injured, so it's. They
It's
try
got reason
to have the enemy. There are like organic creatures, not ships or not.
Right.
So they will do what any animal would do when it's severely injured and try and hide and run.
Vacate, yeah.
Of course, hiding in space is a bit difficult, so that we got that to our advantage. So you're gonna have to chase it now, and your fighters are very good for that. They can easily like catch up because with some increased engine power, and as soon as they're there, start shooting.
I think I still need to. I'll go for a balanced one. My little fighters.
Right. I think this mission is almost yours. The enemy is so weakened now. Doesn't have a lot of potential to do damage. So.
We'll get there. We'll get there.
You're playing very cautiously, though. I noticed that.
I don't want anything to die. So far, nothing has been destroyed of mine, and I'd like to keep it that way.
Yeah, that makes sense. I don't mind to sacrifice ships now and then, to be honest.
Okay.
Right, yeah, so you see your fighters chasing the Guardian. And it's all minor damage, but it does stack up. No, he's not.
You go head on and just don't care about it.
Exactly.
Well, let's throw a bit to the wall then.
Right.
Let's go full engines, just everything attack that one.
Yeah, what's your frigate doing there?
It's
already full engine.
Oh, it doesn't go that far. Okay.
Well, it has a very low output efficiency at the moment
right,
because
that'll be
of
why.
previous disruptor hits.
So he's near death, so we can target that one. Is that? Go to the map. Those are the only two left.
Ah, yeah, very good. And thank you for your support, Bot Not Bot. If I'm pronouncing that correctly, I think I am.
I'm just going to try and swing that one round.
Right.
But these can go full weapons as they're now.
Exactly, yeah.
Closer in range.
It's moving towards your left, so yeah, you want to adjust a bit to it to keep it in firing range. That's the cool thing, of course, about this simultaneous turn-based system. You have to actually anticipate where your enemy will be going.
Yeah. And they're both on different levels, so as you said, it's much easier to kind of discount where you're actually placing them because they are on those different planes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's hope for the best.
Right,
He's a fast one.
Moving toward your flank.
Did I destroy the other one? No.
I probably want to focus that with the frigate now. If you turn the frigate's left cannons toward it. Focus fire. Oh, you're already focusing fire. You should be able to give it a final blow.
Okay. We're at full engines. Let's zoom round to there.
Yeah, and your destroyer, will it get into range? It might. So if you can try focus firing it and just go full power, because there's no fear of getting hit.
Yeah.
At this point. Oh, no. Just let it fly into your side, into your left facing cannons.
Can I loop around so it keeps it in
Right,
the arc?
yeah, that might be a good option.
And
again, there's no fear of taking hits from them, so you can just put as much power as possible into your cannons.
He was over there. So if I'm swinging around,
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that's going to reach. I think because he's very nimble.
He is, yeah. Yeah, that might be better.
Better. Was that one? Let's try and chase him down.
Mm-hmm.
And they're all on different planes.
There are.
So there's no collision.
There's no collision.
There's no collision. Okay, let's view it from here so I can see everything.
Right, there you go. See the destroyer taking it out with its side guns. And this one, come on, frigate, you can do it. Oh, it's still too slow. Right, if you set your Corvette to full power, its rear weapons might be able to do it.
To full weapons?
Yeah. How many hit points does the disruption have? 6. So yeah, that should probably do it.
Just for good measure.
Ah yes. There's no such thing as overkill.
I don't think he's going to gain range of my... I don't think he's going to. Right.
Probably, yeah. He'll probably die beforehand.
Let's go to fire, just in case.
So there we go.
Yeah.
Corvette
Those guys didn't even get a chance. Oh, look, aggressive.
Right, so now at the end of the game, you get your dialogue, because we're in the campaign, like what happens in the story. Again, you can speed it up by clicking on it and just going through it yourself, whichever you please. And here you can select the different ships you fought with and get their stats, like damage done, kills in all battles compared to this battle, which is pretty nice as well. And you can compare them a bit and how they're done. And of course the war skill measure. So in this case you played relatively aggressively, lots of power to your actual weapons. You didn't fire a lot of missiles, but well, you didn't have a lot.
I didn't have many. No,
exactly.
No.
But yeah, you went.
And that took a whole hour.
A whole hour, yes. Well, typically we'll probably go a bit faster, of course. We're
probably just
stuff
me just trying to get used to it and stuff.
So yeah, but that's just one of the 60 battles in total. That's including the skirmish mode we got here. So that's Starhammer for you. It is released today, so you can get it right now with the release discount 10%. It's less than $20 now. It's $18 now on release, or your local equivalent in your local currency. You can grab it from Steam, or you can grab it from Slytherin, in which case you will also get a Steam key for it. If you grab the Steam version, though, you can also activate it or register your copy on our end. So either is fine. And if you have any questions, just drop by on the forums, ask there. We're there on the forums. The devs are there on the forums. They'll be happy to answer any questions you might have, or things you might like to know before you pull the trigger on this one. Yeah. Thank you for
that's all right. Thank you for
showcasing
having
the
me.
game. Hope you had fun playing.
I did. There was a lot of stuff just suddenly appeared in my face. I was like, okay, how do I deal with it? But
you dealt with it extremely well.
You helped me, so good.
All right. Thank you all for watching. Thank you for your input in the chat and for all your questions. And we hope to see you again next week. And what will we be playing next week? I think we got Bulge. We've got one of the Shenandoah games for PC next week. So if you're interested in that, please join us next week as well. If you like what you saw this time, please let us know. Subscribe to our channel and drop us any line with feedback you might have, and we'll try and act on it. So thank you very much for watching. This was it for this time. Thank you, Matt, again. and we'll see you again next week.